maybe they'll be the only mums that want to come along. I only need 2 mums to certify. And I had 8 mums in the end.
Wow.
And I can't tell you the impact it's had. That first block have all continued to meet up every week. Recently, they organized like a mini first aid person come to do like a weaning talk with them all together because they were all going on that journey. They go on pram walks and buggy walks all the time. They're a really, really tight-knit group that's just been like the cherry on top for me, that they've really found each other. The reviews as well, I've got loads of reviews from the class on my website which speak for themselves, but there was one mum who said, this was my space each week for me to be nurtured. She had a lot of birth trauma and she even found a lot of healing in that.
Hello, welcome to Spoil Your Baby podcast. I'm here today with my co-host Rocio Zunini, and we are so excited to welcome Amanda here. She is the world's first nurture neuroscience practitioner, the first person to certify in our certification. So welcome, Amanda. We're so happy you're here.
Thank you so much. I've also switched to a yoga ball for my consultations today. So if I'm bouncing, sorry. It's just a lot more comfortable.
I love it. I need to do the same. I used to have one at my desk in university, and now I think that is a great call. I love that.
Yeah, I had a sleep consult today and I did it for the first time and I'm like, there's no going back. This is great. So if I'm bouncing, sorry.
Amazing. So you are a first practitioner. Why don't you let us know, let's start with, how did you come to our program? And tell us a little bit more about you so we can get to know you.
Yeah, so I'm Amanda. My business is North Star Nurture, which was inspired from a line in your book. And I was a veterinary nurse beforehand, so complete career change. I sort of knew while I was pregnant, working in veterinary nursing, that I was looking for something else, maybe possibly after maternity leave. And I had the idea going into maternity leave that I was going to do a lot of self-discovery and, really manifest and let the universe kind of show me which way to go. And I'd never really done anything like that before. And I came across your book when my girl was about 9 months. And it was at the breastfeeding group that I used to go to every week. And one of the mums had said, have you read this book? And I hadn't. And I'd sort of been going to the group every week just saying, I'm feeling so conflicted. If everything I'm doing feels so right, but I'm under so much pressure from family, friends, health visitor. And everyone's telling me I'm doing this so wrong and it feels so right. And she said, you have to read this book, The Nurture Revolution, by Dr. Greer Kirshenbaum.
I'm so happy that you came in contact with them, because that's the whole goal, right? Yes. We need to help moms in that place. Yeah.
Exactly. And it was such a supportive group, but that book changed everything for me, which I've told you as well. And I didn't know at the time of reading it and listening to it how much it would change my life, that I'd be here now. And then when I got the email that you were bringing out a certification program, because I was signed up to your newsletters, I was like, that is it. I 100% have to get on that. And I remember dancing around my garden with my daughter, manifesting, I'm going to get in. And I'd never done any manifestation before, but I was like, this is it. I have never had more of a doubt in my mind that this is the path for me. I'm getting on this. I know it's limited spaces and I made it on. And that's how I am here today.
Oh, I'm so happy that you did. And you were looking for, something to fill your heart. And now you've also really made it happen in real life too, 100%, right? Because, 100%. Certifying super quickly, but also really you've already reached so many mothers, right?
It's been quite a quick journey, but absolutely. It's sort of taken off a little bit more than I thought it would initially, which has been great, but overwhelming at times.
Oh my goodness. Will you tell us a little bit about that, about starting up your circle? And then I want to know thing I want to know the most is the impact it's having on you and also the people in your groups. But let's start at the beginning. How did you get it all going?
So I started a group in March this year, 2025, and 2 of my best friends who I met at that same breastfeeding group that recommended the book had just had babies. So I was like, okay, cool. I'll have at least 2 mums. Maybe they'll be the only mums that want to come along. I only need 2 mums to certify. And I had 8 mums in the end.
Wow.
And I can't tell you the impact it's had. That first block have all continued to meet up every week. Recently, they organized a mini first aid person come to do like a weaning talk with them all together because they were all going on that journey. They go on pram walks and buggy walks all the time. They're a really, really tight-knit group that's just been like the cherry on top for me, that they've really found each other. The reviews as well, I've got loads of reviews from the class on my website which speak for themselves, but there was one mum who said, this was my space each week for me to be nurtured. She had a lot of birth trauma, and she even found a lot of healing in that. And I would never pretend that I'm a therapist. It's not a therapist space. It's about holding space for people. But it just brought her so much healing, even with birth trauma, which just is so profound.
Yeah.
Absolutely so profound. One mum in particular had a really hard time bonding with her baby. And she found the connection with baby exercises in particular really, really boosted her bond with her baby.
Amazing.
And she was actually reading your book at the same time. She came across the book at the same time as she saw my circle. So we're sort of listening to your book at each chapter as well, sort of really following along for like the whole holistic experience.
Wow.
So yeah, a lot of healing for these mums, finding connection in the local community and friendships. And it honestly, every mum said it was the highlight of their week. It was actually my birthday this week on Wednesdays when I teach my class.
Oh, happy birthday.
And the whole time I was just thinking, thank you. But the whole time I was just thinking, I wish like every birthday I could teach this class. Like, this is where I want to be. It's just the most magical thing in person.
Mm-hmm.
And I do want to explore maybe an online class as well, but nothing really beats that coming together every week in person. I just can't really explain the magic of every class.
Yeah.
I really, really can't.
I mean, I always find that as well. Like, I don't know whose quote it is, but when women gather, magic happens. Like, it's inevitable. It's going to happen no matter what.
Absolutely.
And that was a huge inspiration.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. So, wow, how incredible. And I love to hear how quickly people kind of caught on to what you were doing, right? Your first group had 8 mothers, and I was getting like full body goosebumps there when you were saying that they've continued these friendships, because that's so much of the point, right? We want to hold mothers, boost their confidence, boost their self-love, boost their just oxytocin in that room, which is probably why they were saying that's the best part of their week, and then give them that lifelong support, those like friendships and that connection with themselves, their baby, and then their greater community. So, wow. Congratulations.
Absolutely.
Such a success.
Thank you. And I just have to highlight one of the things I was reflecting on in preparation for this podcast is it's incredible to see how much of a shared experience it is. When we do like a welcome in or release ceremony, it's really common for most of the mums to say, I want to let go of guilt and I want to bring in patience, for example. But then you go to different weeks where we're talking about intuition and interoception, and you can go around a room of 8 mums, and the way that they feel a yes in their body is different for all 8 mums, or the way they feel a no is completely different. So it's just this lovely like parallel of such a shared experience and people saying, yes, I feel that way. But then so much of it is so unique and vulnerable, and it's just the most lovely mix of both of those worlds kind of colliding.
Incredible. So, probably a hard question to answer. Which practices, maybe the top 1 or 2, do you think had the biggest impact? Which were your favorite?
I think the nurtured presence, the 4 questions. And when you ask mums to sort of say the answers to them, so they say to their babies, I see you, you are enough. That one is always, I'm on the 3rd block now. I had nurtured presence last week, and that one is always really emotive, but in a really lovely way. I would say the intuition, actually, which really, really took me by surprise. I think because myself, it's probably been the biggest area for me that I've had to work on as well. Yeah. When we learned it in lecture, I realized very quickly I'm not very in touch with my interoception. And so I was a bit nervous that first week thinking, what if everyone says like, I'm not really understanding this? And it's been so powerful the 2 times I've run that class, and people have been really in touch with their yes and their no in very, very different ways. That one's been a really, really profound one. Ambivalence as well is holding the 2 rocks. And we do that in class where, we really feel those 2 emotions at the same time. I've had one mum say, she texted me saying, I'm out near the reservoir and I found 2 rocks and I was practicing ambivalence, and thinking about class. So yeah, I could talk about all 12 of the
I
classes.
love it. I had a consult very recently, and I think the whole theme of it was those questions. It was essentially a family saying, we have a baby who needs a lot of help for sleep, a lot of help for everything. And we just wish we want, like, give us tips to make it not so. Like, how can we make this baby easy and everything easygoing, right? And almost all of the learning there was tuning into we need our baby for everybody's well-being and peace and health to get a yes answer, not to get a yes that they are enough with those needs, with that help they need. We needed to just shift that for people, right? So
I love that.
it's such a big lesson to learn. I'm so happy to hear that's really going well in the groups.
And I've had actually a surprising amount of second-time mums who are there with their babies, and that feeling of sort of splitting yourself in half when you have an older child, maybe a toddler at home and a baby. And I've had quite a lot of mums say, when we're going over those 4 nurtured presence questions, is they almost feel like they want their toddler to be better in some way.
Yeah.
And that it's just that, like, splitting yourself in half and really balancing the 4 nurture questions across two little ones who might be under the age of 3. And that brings up so many feelings of guilt and overwhelm.
Yeah.
But then other mums will say, I feel exactly the same. I've got a 3-year-old at home as well. And I love when that happens and the conversation goes that way and people chime in and saying, I feel exactly the same. And I'm so glad someone said it.
Yeah. That really helps, that camaraderie. Like, me too, right? It feels so good to be in that presence.
That's what you want.
Yeah. And also, we always talk about the lack. We don't ever need to be perfect in any of that, even with the questions, right? We're going to think sometimes, oh, I wish my child was easier this way, or, that way, whatever it is. And then just be able to return to them is kind of the skill, right? It's just so important for moms to know. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And just the inner child work, I think, that comes with that class as well. And it obviously comes up a lot in most weeks. There's the part of the class where we ask them to hold their baby, but imagine it's baby them, and answer the questions for your inner child. And it chokes me up every time I do it. And it's so beautiful. It's one of my favorite parts of the whole course.
I love it. I love it. So that was your first circle, the circle of 8. And tell us how it's evolved. How have you continued?
So over the summer, it's sort of been, I thought it would be a lot more of an intake of first-time mums, but it's kind of been sort of drips and drabs. I had 3 people for the first 5 weeks and then 6 people for the second 5 weeks, with illness and things. It happens with teething and illness and bad nights, etc.
Yep.
And then this third block, I've got 7 mums just now.
Beautiful.
So and it's a lovely tight-knit group. We've got a new cafe in my venue as well, and it's lovely after each session when I come out after tidying up, with all the mums are there having a coffee and cake and continuing that. So it's just going from strength to strength.
Incredible. And tell us a little bit about what it's been like for you. How's this experience been for you, becoming a facilitator and being able to influence so many people?
I don't know if you guys remember, but before the first class, I was terrified, petrified. I was like, I can't explain how scared I was. And honestly, within 5 minutes of the class, I felt so calm. Obviously, we do grounding exercises, which is perfect for someone who's a bit nervous. It's honestly been probably one of the biggest privileges of my life doing this class. It's one of my favorite things. Part of me is like, I want to do this for free for everybody, but obviously it's a business, because it's just it's so enjoyable for me as well. And just holding space each week for mums and being that safe space where people can come every week. I do every single Wednesday as well. I've not been taking breaks because I just want to be that continued care. It could be a holiday, a half term, or Halloween, Easter, whatever it is, but people still have challenges and newborns and want that support. So I try and keep it consistent every single Wednesday as well. But it's been the biggest privilege of my whole life, with no exaggeration. It's definitely the highlight of my week.
Oh, I love it. I love to hear that. Yeah, the amount of personal growth that's come for you is incredible. Right? You really stepped into it.
I'm proud of myself. It's hard to say that. I actually ran my first infant sleep workshop in August, And, I was getting ready. All the people were coming in. There was about 14 mums. And I wasn't nervous. And I was like, I wonder if the circles have sort of just given me that confidence and, every single week talking in front of an audience. And yeah, the personal growth has been amazing. I wasn't expecting that at all.
Incredible. I'm so happy to hear that you're doing speaking as well. And also sleep consulting.
Yes.
Amazing.
That's really been picking up recently in particular. Yeah.
Incredible. Rocio, anything else you want to know about Amanda?
Oh my goodness. I just, there's so many things. But it's just amazing, the transformation, because I know, Amanda, you will WhatsApp me, I'm like, so I'm so anxious, and like, and to hear that now you're you're transformed too, just by doing the circles. Like, it's just amazing.
I think it's really the
that
feedback.
You were able to give a workshop.
I think it's really the feedback. All the testimonials and all the obviously conversations having with mums is just the biggest confidence boost in the world, because it's kind of like, the proof is in the pudding. Like, there it is. This is the impact it's having. Yeah. That's the biggest motivation.
In your calling, you're doing your calling, and it's just working wonderfully.
Yeah,
so
I'm almost speechless today because I'm just like so moved, so excited, and just have like goosebumps the whole time that you're talking. It's just, there's such an inspiration. It's so incredible.
Well, I owe it all to you guys as well. And, obviously everybody in the practitioner program, we still have the Go Collab, and we all talk, and we've got a UK Nurture Neuroscience practitioners group as well. And we're constantly giving each other support and asking questions. And yeah, it's just the most supportive group for that's come out of this practitioner program.
I love it.
Yeah, there's another thing too that we should highlight, Greer, is that the practitioners, they are in a sisterhood sort of. We want to continue this. As it grows, the movement, we want to keep you all together, and there's no competition. It's about the ripple effects, having your circles and supporting each other, and like being in that community. Like,
yeah, I've got to give a shout out to Sophie, because we WhatsApp message all the time. We're always voice noting about like clients and cases, and giving each other ideas and boosts. So yeah, big shout out to Sophie. She helps a lot.
I love it. So for all of our listeners, if they want to find you for one of your circles or some of your consultations, where can they find you?
So my circles, I host them currently in person. I am thinking about doing an online class soon. But for in person, it's in Midlothian, Scotland, a little community centre called the Glencore Centre. And it's every Wednesday at 9:30 in the morning. And for my sleep consultancy, you can find me at my website, northstarnurture.com. And I'm on Instagram as well, just north.star.nurture. And yeah, I'm also looking at teaming up with Gabrielle as well for some parental regulation support as well. I won't share too many details, but there's going to be a whole different way to support parents through their parental regulation journey, hopefully coming soon with another Nurture Neuroscience practitioner, Gabrielle.
So exciting. Well, thank you again for being here with us. And we can't wait to see all of these new ways you're going to share with the world. So thanks, Amanda.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And I will say, if anybody is thinking of becoming a Nurture Neuroscience practitioner, honestly, we all were messaging the night before the last lecture of that first cohort, like actually crying, being like, I'm so sad that this is over. And that's like for lectures and learning and, having to do case studies. We're all like devastated. Like, I just want to keep doing this. Yeah, I want to join again and again. If you could just let me into each cohort, because
we will think of some ways to keep it going, because we are hearing this from many, many people. So I love that idea. Awesome. All right. I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you so much. Bye.